Another day, another dollar as I holler to the world. I love the way I'm living, love the Gucci, love the girls, love the parties and the clubs, love the models and hot tubs, love the German engineering set on deep dish dubs. Another tour around the world, entertaining the fans. I love walking through the airport, taking pictures, shaking hands. Every day for me's an oyster, crack it open, find a pearl. I love the way I live is what I holler to the world.
Welcome back to Marking Out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze. How you feeling, P?
I'm pouring some more Hibiki Cold and Flu.
That says it all.
The magic elixir.
That says it all.
And some more of this water over here. We need to start getting cases of Fiji water. It's my favorite water. Fiji. We need to talk. All right. That's Dwayne Swayze. I'm MVP. And before we go another step, what I need you to do right now is hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this, if you like the content, if you enjoy it, please do us a solid and subscribe. Then like. Then leave us a comment. Engage us, because it's not a chat bot. It's actually Dwayne Swayze responding to your comments. And then tell a friend that would also like this content. Share it with them so we can all join the conversation together. Now, shall we proceed?
Yeah. Or Joe's going to kill you.
Joe is going to kill you. Oh, and I even messed up my own lyrics on that one episode with Joe. It's Pavlov's dog salivating at the bell. Joe is going to kill you. That's what.
Okay. But there was a lot of cold and flu.
Oh, yeah, a lot of cold. Yeah. Pavlov's dog salivating at the Pavlov's dog salivating at the bell. Joe is going to kill you. That's what they yell.
That's what they yell.
All right.
To start off today, if you could have one final feud that never happened, who would it have been with and why?
We just mentioned one, Samoa Joe. From the indie days, when I first saw Samoa Joe working on Ring of Honor, I was always a big fan of Joe's style. And back then, I especially when I was working for FIP, I was telling Gabe Sapolsky, please book me in a program with Joe, because there weren't too many big guys at that time that were big like Joe working that style. And I really knew that working with Joe would help me to elevate my game and steel sharpen steel. Although at that time Joe was much better than I was, I knew that my game would rise up if I was able to work with Joe. And Gabe agreed, but the funny part was, as we discussed, he said, yeah, I can't invest that much time in you because you're going to get signed. And I was like, dude, I'm not signed. I'm a broke indie wrestler. And then not much longer after that, I showed up to FIP and I was like, oh yeah, I got signed. So he was right. So definitely Samoa Joe. Although at this stage of my career, I don't know that we'd have that same level of match, but a young Antonio Banks, MVP, and Samoa Joe would have been a literal slobber knocker. And the other one that I always wanted to have, actually two more. John Cena, because you always want to work with the top guy.
Right on.
But also, I think that, the promos that Cena and I would have cut against one another.
Which Cena? The rapping Cena?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Like, it was always this. Not Ruthless Aggression Cena.
Oh, okay,
No. Cena, once he started wearing the jorts, all caps, and that was always the one. Because the promos would have been great. The matches would have been just on point. Because at that time I was having killer matches with Benoit. So matches with Cena would have been a breeze by comparison. And I don't say that in a shade way. It's just his style versus Benoit's style. Right. But of course the promos would have really been getting into each other, because it was easy. It just worked, and I'm sure that he and I could have done some amazing business if back then I would have made it to that level to be elevated there. No question in my mind that Cena and I could have done some amazing work. And of course, save the best for last. The Rock.
Oh man, I was not thinking that, man.
Yeah, man,
Right
look,
on.
I'm from Miami.
Exactly.
The Rock claims Miami. He's from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, if I recall correctly. You know, all the Rudy Poo candy he got all that from the University of Miami.
Right on.
I grew up down there during the Schnellenberger days, and going down to Coconut Grove and and celebrating after after the Canes would win national championships and whatnot. Rolling through Coral Gables, and so that was the whole thing, and of course, once again, the promos. The Rock would have absolutely made me elevate my game. And I dare say I would have made him elevate his too, because I think it would have been pretty good. And once again, the matches that we would have had would have been great. But I think people would have been tuning in just to see like, what are these two motherfuckers
What are they
gonna say?
gonna say?
To each other?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he's always been one of my favorites. I've always had huge respect and appreciation for The Rock. Just his mic game is second to none. And he just brought a swagger, and nowadays aura has replaced swagger, right?
Yeah.
He's always just had just an element that just put him head and shoulders above everybody else. And if you stepped in the ring with him, you had to step your game up accordingly. And I feel like, man, I just knew. And it's funny because one day, my first WrestleMania, he was backstage, and we passed by each other in the hallway. And at that point in my career, it was still early, and that's when I was feuding with Benoit, and I was full of piss and vinegar, and I knew that me and The Rock were gonna have a feud one day. I knew it. And somebody introduced us in passing, and I said, "Yeah, we met before. We met at I think it was Coconut Springs. He used to work out at the Gold's Gym there before he became a mega star that couldn't be in public." And his dad used to train us. He used to train with me and Soul Man Alex G and the guys.
Right on.
So, and I had went and spoken to him, and then I said, "Yeah, we met before." And he goes, "Oh yeah, and we said something." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, whatever that means." And I was like, all right, I'm gonna see you, And it never happened.
Right on.
But to answer that question, I think Samoa Joe, because again, the promos would be vicious, the matches would have been slobber knockers. Cena for the same reason, and of course The Rock because he is the great one.
Do you think there's still room for long-term, slow burn storytelling in today's wrestling, or has the business changed too much?
That's a great question. In the words of the Aran Sheik, Dwayne Swayze, you excellent question. Intelligent Houston rapper. The short answer is yes. While today's attention span has shrunk significantly, everything is now. Quick sound bites. The TikTok universe. Everybody wants, shorter, get to the point. I think no matter what, people still love a good story. And if it's done right, and if all the elements are there, then people are going to... The reason professional wrestling works is because it's the oldest story known to man. I say this all the time. Good versus evil. It doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak. You take two professional wrestlers that know the craft, and you can put them in front of a people who've never seen wrestling before, and they'll understand. This is the good guy, that's the bad guy. We want this guy to win because he's a good guy. We want that guy to lose because he's a cheater and a coward. Simple formula. So when you add elements of betrayal, revenge, all of the emotional hallmarks that get you to invest emotionally in a character and in a story, absolutely. When I was growing up, I remember the average movie was 2 hours. And then it seemed like movies got to be like 90 minutes. They got shorter, But recently we've seen, some of these Marvel movies, some of these, they're 3 hours plus. So if the story is compelling enough, people are gonna tune in. And I can think, if you go back through the years of some of your favorite wrestling rivalries, you had long-term stories. And, that's one of the things that made WrestleMania so awesome. A lot of these stories built up over months to pay off. I think even now, when you have like Netflix, streaming.
Right.
I just watched The Penguin recently. Absolutely phenomenal.
I have not checked it out yet.
It's
Worth it?
incredible.
Okay.
It's more than worth
But
it.
no Batman.
He's coming.
Okay.
It's in the same universe as the new Batman.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, Colin Farrell turns in one of the most compelling performances of his career. With all the makeup and prosthetics, you wouldn't even know that's Colin Farrell.
Okay.
And you don't hear a hint of the Irish accent. He sounds like he grew up in New York. Yeah, he's got gold teeth. He's got, and he's, oh man, it's the best with an honor. Oh man, what Heath Ledger did for the Joker, Colin Farrell has done for the Penguin.
Oh, wow. All right.
He owns the Penguin now.
Okay.
And as I understand it, when the series ended, you saw the Batman, so if I got it right, Colin Farrell's Penguin will exist in the new emo Batman universe.
Okay.
The Robert Pattinson emo. I hate his casting. I hate him as Batman.
There was something that I know my wife watched as like a little teenager, Twilight, and that's where this guy comes from, right? Yeah, that's why I can't check it out, man. But no disrespect to him.
I'll say this though, while I don't like him in the role, I like what they did with the movie.
Oh, the movie's
good.
Yeah,
the
1
movie's
hour
good
and I shut it down.
It's the original Batman. It's the detective Batman. And while I don't like his casting, he does a good job.
Okay.
But the movie around him is good. But Colin Farrell as the Penguin is amazing. And from that first episode all the way to the final episode, I was invested.
Okay.
So just using that as an example, I mean, look how popular the Squid Games were. People still like long-term storytelling. And in wrestling, if you have compelling characters with a compelling argument, a compelling beef, long-term storytelling will always work. I don't think it ever goes away because people have an insatiable thirst for entertainment. And wrestling fans, even the newer, younger wrestling fans who, have that, I want it now, pay off now kind of attitude, when it's done right, it works, So I don't think long-term storytelling will ever completely go away from professional wrestling as long as it's done right. And, there are certain people who are good at doing it, and some people just aren't really good at it or don't care to. But I'm a big fan of what they call the slow burn. I love it. And I think it's an essential part of what wrestling is. You got to build up the beef and bring it along and have it culminate in a payoff. And whether you do that over a month or whether you do that over a year, as long as you have compelling characters with a legitimate beef that gets, what I always talk about, soliciting that emotional response. If you are emotionally invested, then you're going to keep tuning in because you want to see what's going to happen next. And that's the beauty of
That's how I felt with the whole bloodlines.
Yeah. It was just, great storytelling. And everybody played their part well. It was laid out well. You gotta love it. I was just thinking about it like, man, through the years, if you ask any wrestling fan that's been a wrestling fan for 10 years or more, they have at least one long-term story that they watched, bubble up and turn it, and that's the beauty of wrestling. Yeah, you can have those cold matches that are just fun and exciting, and people are going to enjoy that. But when you give people a reason to care, the whole idea, the reason for professional wrestling is to get an emotional response from the viewer.
Yeah.
And if you are giving them a compelling character with a legitimate beef, people will invest. I don't think that's ever going to go away.
Pete, what WrestleMania was it where Omos faced Brock? Was that 40 in Los Angeles?
Man, I'm the worst at that. Dude, I
Okay.
don't remember dates. People ask me, hey, what WrestleMania? Dude, I was in multiple
Right,
WrestleManias.
right.
I can't tell you
Right
what
on,
number,
right
which
on.
was which. I can tell you what city,
Yeah.
but I'm terrible at that.
So Los Angeles WrestleMania.
Yeah, okay.
What I think Roman faced Cody, and I just remember like when his theme music hit, and I'm in the stands, it's me and Chad, and he was recording me, and as Roman,
Chad.
what up, Chad? As Roman was walking out for the first time, I stood up and I had that one finger up, and I was like I can't control myself. How did he do this?
The emotional investment.
Yeah.
So and it's a beautiful thing. I love seeing that. You know, when you have a character who has to overcome obstacles over a period of time to achieve a goal, everybody celebrates with him or her. You know, everybody's involved together, and everybody gets to raise that title belt with that person, and that's what you want. So, to answer your question, no, I think slow burn storytelling will always have a place in pro wrestling.
This isn't about wrestling, but I think our fans would really appreciate this, man.
Okay, what you got?
Can you please tell the prison spider fight story?
Okay, you guys are in for a real treat. Because it kind of is about wrestling.
Okay.
It does have competitors. We got not a ring, but all right. So as many of you know, I spent some time in prison when I was a much younger man. And during that time, I had quite a few amazing adventures. Prison is a world of its own. It's a microcosm of a larger society. And a lot of the time, you know, as I'm sure you guys have watched movies and television shows, convicts get real creative because we got nothing but time. And I was at DeSoto Correctional Work Camp, which was a medium and minimum custody. And at DeSoto Correctional in Florida, you have these spiders, and I don't know what their actual species is, but we called them Florida tarantulas. And the females were, I think the females were like black and white in color, and the males were like a reddish brown, but they were kind of furry, and they looked like little tarantulas. I don't remember anybody ever getting bit by them. I don't think they were venomous, but a lot of inmates used to keep them as pets. And they'd get a little hair pomade jar, and once you finish it, clean it out, put some little leaves and grass in there, and guys would go outside with a little stick by the out by the fence that you were allowed to get close to, and they'd poke and catch a spider, and then you'd have to feed it. So guys would go over behind the chow hall by the slop buckets and the trash cans and would try to catch flies to feed their spiders or other little bugs or little wood spiders they would catch. And it would be funny because the wood spiders, they were no match for the Florida tarantulas. So they knew when they got put in that little jar, I guess their spider sense started tingling and their front arms would go up and they would start moving because they knew they were about to get pounced on. And inevitably that spider, and a lot of them in that little jar, they would make like a little cocoon, and they'd hide in there, and they would only come out to eat, to catch their prey.
Okay.
So you'd see that spider come out, and that little wood spider would be like, oh shit, and in seconds, it'd be like you would see the spider get put on its back, and those fangs would pierce, and it would pretty much just suck the fluid out of it. I don't know who the genius was, but somebody came along and decided my spider could beat your spider.
Was it a McMahon?
Might have been. But in this case, dudes would actually bet on their spiders. And some of the spiders had reputations because they would build up winning streaks. And, guys would give their spiders all kinds of cool names. And some guys would eventually retire their spiders, like, no, I don't fight him no more, man. He's 10-0, undefeated. and guys would bet cigarettes and honey buns and, you know, soups and, you know.
That's valuable stuff,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's commodity.
Yeah.
That's I mean, commerce in prison. That's cash. You know, 2 packs of Newports is $5. You know what I'm saying? That's nigga bet $5. Okay, and you pay off for 2 packs of Newports. You know, or soups for 50 cents. So it's 10 soups. The what kind of, I think it was Irish Spring. The Irish Spring soaps
Soap?
were $1. So 5 soaps. You know, like,
Oh man.
yeah. Everything commerce.
Were
Man.
these the little ones or the big ones? There's a story.
They were the full size.
full size, okay.
Yeah.
There's a story where Charles Barkley said he almost lost one of those. Have you?
No, I don't even want to know that story.
Okay,
I don't even want to know that story.
Continue.
I don't want to know where he lost it at. So at the work camp, because guys were able to go outside the fence, a lot more dudes had pet spiders. And man, I don't know what it's somebody in our house, our housing unit, our dorm, whatever they call it back then, stole like a plastic container from the chow hall and cut like a little hole in the top of it so the spiders couldn't climb up the sides and you could see into it and they couldn't get out. And when guys first started, you know, betting on their spiders, I don't remember who it was. It's been so long ago. I could see faces, but I can't remember names. But I remember that they cut the hole in this top, and the guy used to keep it in his locker and would put stuff in it, you know. And then when it was time, like Saturday nights would be the spider fights, and all week dudes would be building it up, you know, like, oh man, my spider Conan, boy, he gonna whoop your spider. Oh no, damn, my spider Mr. Blang, you know. And everybody, all spiders had names, you know, and it was funny because it would drop one spider in. And then as soon as the other spider came in, their front arms would go up and you see them, they look like crabs, like moving around. And, you know, you'd have to like push a stick to kind of make them engage a little bit. But once they got within range, they would scrap. And inevitably, one would flip the other one on its back. And once he was on his back, those fangs would go in and they would eat him. And, you know, guys was betting heavy. You know, some guys, you know, had a little, because you always got cash. It's always around. At that time, we weren't allowed to have cash, but the gamblers kept cash. The drug dealers had cash. You know, it was always a little moving and shaking going on. And spider fights was a main event draw on Saturday nights in our dorm. And the cool thing was, like, the CO that used to regularly work our dorm, he ain't mess with us about it because ain't nobody getting in trouble.
And
You know,
this is not prime time, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Daryl Davis.
No.
Okay, not him.
No,
Okay.
I met him at work release.
Okay,
that was
okay,
years later.
okay,
At this
okay.
point, it was DeSoto work camp.
Okay.
And yeah, so the spider fights were a big deal. And it, like, all week it would get built up to, you know, the big, and then there was one spider, man, I can't remember the guy's name now, but there was one spider that he was such a badass that dudes ain't even want to put no spiders against him. And it would just be exhibitions. People would just catch spiders just to feed that spider because it was big and that spider was aggressive. They wasn't messing around. So one day I'm messing around out in the yard and I see what looked like a stick bug. But as I got a little bit closer, I saw that it was a species of praying mantis. It was a brown mantis, but it looked like a stick bug. And I saw it and I was like, oh man, look, a praying mantis. So I caught it and I was holding it and it didn't fly away. And I had it on my hand and I was kind of messing with it a little bit. And I was like, oh man, this is dope, man. So I had a hair pomade jar, but it was a little bit bigger because it was like gel. And I remember I cleaned the rest of it out and I put a couple sticks in there with some leaves and I put the mantis in there and I put some holes in the jar. And I went and I caught some little wood spiders. And I put the wood spider in there. And dude, I'm telling you, it was one of the coolest things ever. Like, the mantis, when the spider would get in there, the mantis would be posted up on the stick. And you'd see it would turn its head. And that shit would rock. It would just start kind of rocking a little bit. And the little wood spider would know, like, spider sense. Like,
Yeah.
I guess if I threw you in with a lion, you know, like, oh, damn, you
I'm
know.
in trouble.
And one of the most amazing things, because the mantis, if you ever look at a praying mantis, its hands are like ice picks, like, you know, like spears. And you would see the mantis would just soup, like stab it up and then pick the spider up and turn it around to the abdomen. And you could see the mandibles and it would eat the spider.
Oh.
And you would watch it eat the spider. And I remember watching this on my bunk and just being like, yo. And man, I feel so bad. So many years have gone by. But there was an older black dude who he used to run the commissary. And he was a great dude. It was Max something, McNair, Mick something. Great guy. He and I were real cool. He was real good to me. And he said, hey kid, what you got there? I said, man, look, I got a praying mantis. And he looked and he was watching. He was like, what? Oh shit, damn, is he eating a spider? I said, yeah, man, I feed him little wood spiders. And after a while, I thought, man, let me bring my praying mantis down to the spider fights. So I'm telling these dudes, like, hey man, I got some for y'all this weekend for the spider fights. I got some. And they were like, yeah, bring whatever you got. Yeah, bring you. So they thought I was bringing a spider. They didn't know that I had a praying mantis.
Okay.
And these cats, I don't know if they didn't watch Kung Fu movies. I don't know if they just weren't aware, if they didn't read, if they didn't watch nature shows. Well, they probably, a lot of them didn't read, I'm sure. But as a Shaw Brothers martial arts fan,
Oh, right on. Okay.
I named my praying mantis Wei Feng.
10-4.
From, you know, the mantis technique. Yeah. So my spider was named Wei Feng. And if you go watch the Shaw Brothers, you go Google it, Wei Feng, mantis, right?
Amazon Prime, they got like all of
them. You might even be able to get it on YouTube for free. So Saturday night, I come down and I bring my mantis. And these cats look and they like, what you got, man? I said, yeah, I bring my mantis out and they go, man, this nigga got a stick bug, man. What you brought a stick bug to the spider fights? Man, fuck wrong with you, man? I'm like, and oh man, what was McDowell? McNabb? God, I can't remember. It's Mick something. But he was respected because he was an older dude and he was a canteen operator. So, and he always had a lot of commissary, you know, he used to gamble a little bit. So he said, hey, I'm backing him. Whatever you want to bet, I'm backing him. And cats were like, what? Like, man, let me get this money, man. Because they thought that this spider was going to eat this stick bug. They had no idea.
And is your praying mantis going up against the spider?
Not at first.
Okay.
Because they thought it was a joke. So one of the guys got his Florida tarantula and he put it in there. No, we put the mantis in first because it was a little bit bigger. But they thought it was a stick bug. They had no idea. But it was funny as hell because when the spider went in, immediately the tarantula spider went up like that. And they were looking like, because they knew the spider, he knows something ain't right. And they watched that mantis, turned his head and went, yo, he turned his head. There you see, because they didn't realize that the mantises could, they started freaking out. I said, oh, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Just wait. Man, that spider got in range and that mantis stabbed his ass up, shanked him up, picked him up and turned him around and started eating him. They were like, oh, hell no, he eating his ass, dog. Oh, no, the stick bug eating the spider booty, dog. No,
It's not his booty, dog. What's wrong with him?
His thorax or abdomen, whatever. But he was literally eating them. And then once he got done eating what he wanted, he threw his body down and just cleaned his hands up and just posted up. And everybody lost their minds. And the CO, again, I don't remember his name now, but he was a young white dude with a porn stash. We used to tease him about his mustache. He goes, that gentleman is not a stick bug. That's a praying mantis.
You're telling me the CO is right there watching?
He was watching, yeah.
Did he bet?
I don't know if he bet, but he would come by and watch the spider fight sometimes. And he didn't mind because it was babysitting. Like he didn't have to worry about, we weren't causing no trouble. Now we're not supposed to gamble. You got to keep the gambling on the DL. But he didn't really care. And as long as when the sergeant came through, he covered everything up and chilled. And everybody was in absolute awe that this stick bug ate the spider. But then they praying mantis. You mean like the Kung Fu movie? Like, yeah, that's why his name is Wei Feng, nigga. That's Wei Feng. And my man, the commissary, gosh, I wish I could remember his name. He was such a good dude. But he came with the laundry bag. Pay up. Pay up.
Oh.
He just had to throw them soups and
Right
he
on.
covered everything, you know. And man, we had a fat bag. After that, nobody wanted to put their spiders in there. And we were trying to get dude to put the big spider in there. But he was like, nah, you got me fucked
I
up, man.
seen what happened.
So one other dude put his spider up, but not that night. It was the following week. We had to build it up, you know. Got to build it up, right?
Right.
Same thing. Wei Feng stabbed his ass. And I ain't feed Wei Feng all week, too. Wei Feng stabbed that spider up, turned him around. Everybody lost their minds again. And at that point, that was it. Nobody was putting no spider. Oh, and the container. Here's the one of the best parts. Remember Public Enemy? Welcome to the Terror Dome. They conflated Mad Max and the Terror Dome. So it was welcome to the Terror Dome, and people would be 2 spiders enter, 1 spider leave, 2 spiders enter, 1 spider leave. But at this point, nobody was putting no spiders in there with Wei Feng. So Wei Feng became an attraction, like Andre the Giant. Yeah, they just gonna put a sacrificial spider in there for everybody to watch because no spider had a shot against Wei Feng. And this went on for a few weeks, and it was fun. And after that, I thought, man, Wei Feng, you've done well, man. We want money, and I would make them pay for Wei Feng. Like, no, you guys, you want me to bring Wei Feng? I need some soups and some
On a
cookies.
Saturday night, they had to pay up.
Damn right, you got to pay. I'm gonna bring Wei Feng, but we gonna need some soups and cookies, man. You got to pay. Wei Feng was an attraction, like Omas.
Right on. What up, Omas?
And then I finally, like a champion gladiator, he won his freedom.
No.
I finally opened him up and I set Wei Feng free. I let him go. And that was the story of the DeSoto Correctional Saturday night spider fights and my pet praying mantis, Wei Feng.
You're welcome.
See what we give you, man? We don't mess around over here, man. I guess that's a wrap.
Take it home, man.
I'm sick, man. I did this for you. I got to go lay down and go to bed. I'm tired, man. But I appreciate you all for tuning in every week. We're going to keep these coming. And, man, I love these conversations, and I'm glad you joined us again. Please subscribe, like, comment. Dwayne's going to hit you back.
I'll hit you back, and Joe's going to kill you. And also, check out the Patreon, man.
Yes, our Patreon. Our Patreon is dope. We over-deliver. I promise you, go check it out. Interact with some of our Patreon subscribers, and they will tell you how awesome our Patreon is. I appreciate the fact that you are committing your money to our Patreon, so we make sure that you get your money's worth. Yeah. And on that note, one more time, subscribe. You guys are watching. I need you to subscribe. We got to get them subscribers up. I guess we're done.
We're done, man. We'll get some rest, man.
See you, Space Cowboy. Video?
Music video.
Music video.
Let's do it.
Well, the last 2 times that we had a slightly shorter video, we blessed you with a music video. And what are we going to hit them with this time?
You know what? Let's go Still Ballin'.
Still Ballin'.
Still
That's
Ballin'.
a good one.
Yeah.
Still Ballin'. This is, man, when did we drop that?
I remember this maybe 2016. Oh, when we recorded it or when we dropped it?
I don't know. You keep up with that.
Yeah. Let me see.
You know, I can't remember my last name sometimes, man.
I think 2016 we recorded it. It stayed in the vault for years, and then we dropped it, I think 2021.
Oh, when I came back.
Yeah,
because I was still balling. Right. So it's an animated video.
Animated video, man.
Dope. Okay. So please enjoy Still Ballin'. MVP featuring
Dwayne Swayze.
It's yours truly, Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP, here with my hip-hop partner in crime, Dwayne Swayze. And as some of you know, I like to make music. I've made a number of hip-hop songs, quite a few featuring him. And I had a lot of unreleased music in the vault, if you will. One of those songs was a song that I made when I was planning my return to WWE some years ago, but I chose to take a different path. So
We went into the vault, took a little bit of convincing, but talked to P, decided to add a animated video to go along with it. We got something special.
So, thank him for this. As I said, we got a bunch of music that I'm going to put out little by little, but this one is called Still Ballin'. MVP, Dwayne Swayze. Enjoy, and thanks for the support. The universe is always asking when I'm coming back. I said never, but like James Bond, never say never again. Ghetto strong style, I said enough money, you could never put it past me. And don't nobody pay like Uncle Vince. The ballin' superstar is back. D. Swayze, ha! Let's kill him. Ghetto strong style, Mr. 305. Fought the best around the world and I still survive. True success story, made something out of nothing. Love the way the crowd pop when they heard I'm coming. Now I'm VIP ballin', SmackDown brawling, still beating odds, got the opposition falling. Tokyo Dome had a goal to achieve, so I hollered at Vince and got permission to leave. I'm out, headed overseas, learn to speak Japanese. Now I'm in the wellness program, so I quit smoking trees. Save my lungs, press pause on the festivities. Remember, I'm the one that taught you about the Nakamura knees. I'm still ballin', shot callin', been all around the world, I'm here to go ballin'. Money making, model dating, groundbreaking, half man, half amazing. Yeah, I'm still ballin', shot callin', been all around the world, I'm here to go ballin'. Money making, model dating, groundbreaking, half man, half amazing. Even made a pit stop down in the minor leagues. Whistle Dixie down south till it was time to leave. To SoCal, Tokyo hero, do some work on the sleeve. My day-to-day life, y'all just wouldn't believe.
Crabs in a bucket, how can they hate us? We know they love it. If hate will keep you grounded, then I'm just gonna fly above it. A decade of grind doesn't sum up to all of a sudden. Dwayne Swayze and MVP, we still hustling.
A few faces change, but the game's the same. My name stays hot, can't extinguish the flames. Time to finish what I started, get the dollars and the fame. And now the universe screaming my name. I'm still ballin', shot callin', been all around the world, I'm here to go ballin'. Money making, model dating, groundbreaking, half man, half amazing. Yeah, I'm still ballin', shot callin', been all around the world, I'm here to go ballin'. Money making, model dating, groundbreaking, half man, half amazing.
Look, I'm just proud to be a part of this discussion. Sound like drums when Swayze let off that Baker's dozen. Yeah, movie clips when we spit each verse. Being good and good at it, is that a gift or a curse? If the topic's not dollars, there's no need to converse. Being broke at 30 personally can't be nothing worse. Too much progression for me to even consider reverse. First take in the booth, there's no need to rehearse. You see, it's all about the game. Got Steph Curry range taking aim. Yeah. Look, they can try and stop it, homie. We keep sip popping, the whole squad is mobbing. That's right.
I'm still ballin', shot callin', been all around the world, I'm here to go ballin'. Money making, model dating, groundbreaking, half man, half amazing. Yeah, I'm still ballin', shot callin', been all around the world, I'm here to go ballin'. Money making, model dating, groundbreaking, half man, half amazing.
I just lay back in something new. Whiskey 21 and over, low ball. Make it too neat, Dizzer from Harlem. Yeah, I'm from Houston, off of Fondren. Mike Mazan and real world flow. Plant these seeds in the streets and in weeks, watch it blossom. Dark night, riding on chrome, swinging through Gotham. It's me and P, repaving these roads.